So in this video, we are going for the next problem of Newton's divided difference interpolation. So this formula is basically used whenever unequal intervals will come. So here you can observe that x value is in there. The gap between first and second is 2. Second and third, 22 and 29, what is the gap? 7 gap is there. And 29 and 32, 3 gap is there. That the gaps are what? Unequal. Right? So the unequal intervals we can call it. So that's why we have to use Newton's divided difference formula, interpolation formula for that purpose. Okay, because Newton's forward and backward will be having for only equal intervals. Now u of 22 suffix is given. Okay, u28 they have asked whatever the value is there. Ux we are considering the function of x, that particular value is also given in the question. So I have just directly formed the table. Okay, it will be given in the question directly out of form. It will be given like u20 value is 24.37. So you have to understand that this particular 20 is basically x and 24.37 is function of x. That's it. We'll go for the first table. Before that, I'll just write here, this is x0, x1, x2 and x3. This particular thing will be a function of x0, function of x1, function of x2 and function of x3. Okay, we'll go for the first difference table. So how to form that? So subtracting this and this, f of x1 minus f of x2. That means the lower one minus upper one, 49.28 minus 24.37 divided by divided difference, right? Divided difference is there. Divided by what you have to divide? Corresponding whatever value is there. x1 minus x0. It is 22 minus 20. How much will be getting the value? We'll be getting the value as 12.455. Simple. Next subtraction of this and this. So this particular thing will be called as f of x0 comma x1. Why? Because here what all values we have utilized? F of x0, f of x1, right? So two values we have utilized, that's why we call it as f of x0 comma x1. Then subtraction of this and this, it will be 162.86, always the lower one minus upper one, 49.28 divided by, now again the same thing, x2 minus x1, 29 minus 22. You will be getting the value as 16.226. Next, this particular thing you have to subtract 240.5 minus 162.86 whole divided by 32 minus 29, which is equal to what? 25.88. Now this particular value will be called as x1 comma x2 and this will be called as f of x2 comma x3. Okay, so that's how it is made. We'll go for the second difference table. Difference table, basically here it is divided difference. DD is divided difference. Okay, so second will what will happen? Let us see. So difference between these two, so it will be 16.226 minus 12.455 whole divided by, now division very important, be careful with this one, that how we are going to divide first value and the third value we are going to do. Leave the one value, first value and the third value, subtract both. That will be equal to 29 minus 20, which is given by 0.419. Okay, so this will be said as what? F of x0, x1 and x2, because you can see here what we have utilized, this particular value is gone. Okay, always remember the divided part, the denominator part always will be taken from what? X value. Okay, so x0 comma x1, x1 comma x2 we have utilized, that's why we are taking what? X0, x1, x2. Next difference we'll see, this and this value we have to take the difference, so it will be 25.88 minus 16.226 whole divided by, now we have taken first and third value, now we have to take second and fourth value, so it will be equal to 32 minus 22 and it is given by 0.965. This will be named as f of x naught is gone, so it will be x1, x2 and x3. You can observe over here x1, x2 and x2, x3. So that's why x1, x2 and x3. Now I'm going to remove this part and we have to go for the third DD also, divided difference. So third divided difference, it will be again subtraction of this and this. So you're going to take 0.965 minus 0.419 whole divided by. Now which one x values you have to take? First and the last value. Okay, first and the last value. So it will be 32 minus 20. Always the lower minus upper, right? So how much you'll be getting? You'll be getting it as 0.0455. Okay, so 0. Be named as what? F of x naught, comma x1, comma x2, comma x3. Okay, because you can see over here x naught, x1, x2 and x1, x2, x3. So all the four variables are being utilized. So this is done. Last value we have got. Further I cannot go because there is no difference. For difference, two values should be there, right? Now we'll apply the formula. So in the formula, if you observe what we need to find, we need to find u of 20, u suffix 28. That means the x value is 28, right? Corresponding y value we have to find out. Function of x we have to find out. That means in place of y is equal to, this will become y is equal to function of x. That means function of what you have to find? 28. That is equal to x value is 28. F of x naught. What is f of x naught? That is basically this particular value. That will be 24.37 plus what is x value? X value is 28, which we have asked in the question. So it will be 28 minus x naught value, which is 20, into function of x naught comma x1, which is this particular value. So 12.455 plus again the same thing, 28 minus 20 into 28 minus x1 value is what? 22. Then function of x naught, x1, x2, this particular value 0.419, 0.419 plus again x minus x naught. 28 minus 20 is there, 28 minus 22 is there, again 28 minus the x2 value, which is 29, multiplied with what we have got in the third difference, divided difference, which is 0.0455. So after multiplication and addition of all this, you will be getting the function of 28, that is basically u28 as 141.938, or it is approximately equal to 141.9 or 142 also you can say. Okay, so this will be the final answer. So f of 28 they have asked somewhere over here 28, the answer will be 142 we can consider. Okay, or point if you want, you can consider point also. So what all values we have taken in the question, that means in the formula. So f of x naught we have taken this particular value, right? Then x naught, x1, x2 we have taken. Then all the starting values of what? Divided difference table, right? All the starting values of rest all values has not been utilized in the formula of this.